Do you know what a limiting belief is? It's a belief that blocks you from going where you want to go. It's not good or bad, it just doesn't serve your goal. So let's say that you want to make a lot of money, but deep down you believe that having a lot of money is like dirty or it's going to make you a bad person. Well, this belief is going to quietly get you stuck no matter what strategy you try. And so this belief is going to limit your experience, even if you want something completely different with all your heart. So where do these beliefs come from? Usually it starts in our childhood, from our parents, from school, from the culture around us. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're carrying them, because the more you believe something, the more you start seeing life through it, like putting on some tinted glasses, until at some point you stop seeing it as a belief and you start thinking that's just the way things are. Very simple example. When, we tend to say like, oh, life's hard. Well, if you believe that life's hard, you'll find proof of that everywhere, and it's quite easy to find. But if you start thinking life can be easy in some ways, well, you'll find that too. You'll find some proof of that as well. And that really fully shifted my perspective in life, because I used to think, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But in fact, I realized it's the opposite. I see what I believe. And that statement is so true in everything. Think about it, even debates about anything. You can throw any argument, any fact that you want, but it's so difficult to change people's mind, because you're not just arguing facts, you're challenging their entire belief system. And our beliefs shape all our perceptions in life. And so the real question isn't really what is true. What's the truth? Because of course there is one truth out there. There's the reality, the undeniable reality as it is. But how we relate to it is what makes all the difference. And so the better question becomes, what belief or perspective will help me move toward the life that I want, given the reality I'm in? And so your beliefs are like a GPS. It doesn't erase the terrain, but it helps you choose the route. And if you want another direction, you may have to shift your beliefs in order to be able to reach your destination. And so I guess now you're wondering, how do I change those limiting beliefs? Well, for a start, it's important to not fight against your existing limiting beliefs, but instead you can pick another one to replace it with. Because what a limiting belief is just a thought that you've repeated to yourself so many times that it's become a pattern. So basically, if you have a thought or an emotion, it's going to lead to an action leading to a result, which is going to strengthen your belief and therefore forge your identity, or what you think is your identity. So let's say, for instance, that you say, I'm a shy person. Well, in fact, you are acting like someone who believes they're shy. And I can say this very confidently because that's exactly something that I've experienced. Today, when I tell people that I'm shy, they simply do not believe me, because I have kept the emotions related to being a shy person. I still feel, this awkwardness that not everyone feels when they're behaving in society. I still have that, but I changed my limiting belief to a point that I don't act shy anymore. And so people cannot believe most of the time that I'm a shy person deep down, because I realize that the emotions, the thoughts that I have deep down do not have to lead to the same pattern, the same repetitive actions that lead to the same results and that would forge my identity, right? Just because I feel uncomfortable or awkward doesn't mean I have to act this way or feel like it's impossible to act otherwise. And now a little piece of advice if you want to shift your belief faster. Go and spend time with people who already live what you want. That's one of the most powerful tools. It's the mirror effect. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's imagine that you think it's impossible for you to do a marathon, for instance, even though you're pretty healthy. Well, if I introduce you to a paraplegic man who just did one in Spain, that's just going to shatter your beliefs, right? Another example, if you think that it's absolutely impossible to swim across the English Channel, but then I introduce you to a person who did that with no arms or no legs, then it's going to challenge your entire belief system. And you're going to start thinking it was never about the truth. It was about perceptions. Our beliefs are not facts. They're habits that we get to choose. So you can start asking yourself, what do I want? And what do I need to believe in to get there? Because, and that's going to sound very cliche, but what we believe can become true.